Wes Scott from Life Back Law Firm. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 7 versus Chapter 13 bankruptcy. What's the difference? This is a great blog. Thanks for writing this blog. It's a great blog. People always want to know what essentially is the difference between a Chapter 13 and a Chapter 7. And what it really boils down to, for the most part, is that in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you're making payments back to your creditors through a Chapter 13 trustee. Whereas a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you don't make payments back to your creditors. Instead, the focus is on your assets. So in Chapter 7, the focus is on your assets and whether they are what we call exempt or non-exempt. And then in Chapter 13 bankruptcy, the focus isn't so much on your assets as it is on your budget. Here's your income, here's your expenses, this is what you have left over to make a payment back to your creditors, right? And there are benefits and burdens to both, and whether you should be one or the other, it really requires the expertise of a lawyer, a bankruptcy lawyer, a good bankruptcy lawyer. We wrote the book here at Life Back Law Firm, Filing Bankruptcy Sucks, Your Lawyer Should Not. And a good lawyer is going to tell you, look, here is what they are. Here is your fact pattern, and here's what I'm recommending, and here's why. And sometimes people will profile like a Chapter 7, but they should be thinking about a 13 for certain reasons. Normally you'd be a Chapter 7, but in this instance, here's what I'm looking at, and here's why I'm suggesting a 13. And so basically, in a Chapter 13, you're making payments back to your creditors through a Chapter 13 trustee. There's 2 Chapter 13 trustees in the state of Minnesota, for example. Greg Burrell right now, Kyle Carlson in outstate Minnesota, Greg Burrell in the Twin Cities area. And then there are numerous Chapter 7 trustees throughout the state because Chapter 7 is more commonly filed. And between the 2 bankruptcies, Chapter 7s dwarf Chapter 13 bankruptcy filings. So that's essentially the differences between a Chapter 7 and a 13. And your lawyer can guide you as to choosing the correct one when the time is right, when you want your hand held. Going through this process with a lawyer who's kind and helpful. Reach out to the lawyers here at Life Back Law Firm. You're going to be so thankful you did.